Welcome to Kingdom News on God's Own TV. Hello there, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Welcome to Kingdom News on God's Own TV. See the highlights. Reactions as Lawrence Oyor shares loved up moment with wife Darasimi Oyor. Sacked pastor sues Bishop Oyedepo to court. My life is a song. Jaymikee gushes over wife Tolulope Mike-Bamiloye. Jaymikee makes music with son. Spark reactions. As the couple celebrates their second wedding anniversary, gospel minister Lawrence Oyor has stirred up a lot of reactions while making singles ask God when. Lawrence Oyor took to his platforms to share a series of loved up pictures with his wife, Darasimi Oyor, as part of their anniversary celebration. In one of the posts, the gospel minister shared a picture of himself closely leaning over his wife, Darasimi, while assuring his followers it was not what they were thinking. According to him, he was performing an ancient method known to clean stains from the mouth of one's wife. He said, "I was not doing what you are thinking. Ancient studies have shown that your mouth, rather than your hand, is a more effective tool for removing any stain on your wife's mouth." This caption has stirred different reactions from the followers of the couple. Referring to Lawrence Oyor's old statement when Elijah Oyor was born, Damilola 15 said, "During Elijah, it was busyness. This will be Elisha. Research on an ancient studies, the effective tool for removing any stain on your wife's mouth." While Oyedepo called on God of the singles to help him, saying, "God of the singles, come through for me, oh. I can't take this torture no more. Ungwenu, Darasimi and Lawrence, continue, oh." Another follower, Temitope Abraham, said, "Obara Jesus, ancient light, show me things hidden for years to come, oh, because Salome Kalu said, "Omo, it be like say it is to leave this social medium for you guys till the brother that I am with his missing rib finds me, oh, because what is all this now?" According to Zimalicious, Pastor Lawrence is teaching us how to do it right. Thank you, sir. We will take heed to the lessons when due. We at God's Own TV are wishing Lawrence Oyor and his wife, Darasimi Oyor, a happy anniversary. We pray for many more years together, fulfilling purpose.
Popular gospel singer, producer, and actor of the Mount Zion Faith Ministries, Jayson Mike-Bamiloye, has spent sweet words to his wife as he also announced the creation of a new music track. Jayson Mike-Bamiloye, also known as Jaymikee, announced his new work while sharing one of their happy moments and appreciating God for giving him his wife, Tolulope, who he described as a glorious woman. In his words, and I quote, "I consider my life to be a song and every season is a verse. My salvation is the chorus and God is the writer." When he wanted to drop a punchline, he gave me this glorious woman, Tolulope Mike-Bamiloye. Announcing his new gospel track, he said, and I quote, "That being said, let me announce that another song is cooking, so anticipate." There were interesting reactions to this tweet as people admired his lovely wife and stated that they were indeed anticipating the song. Brother Joshua Ade noted that his wife Tolulope has a striking resemblance with his mom, Evangelist Gloria Bamiloye. He said, "Your wife is gradually resembling your mom, sir. I can easily see you were the one that married a Bamiloye." Akiwande Esther said, and I quote, "I don't think I'm the only one seeing the love of Christ radiating here, and Auntie Tolu's smile is J-Mike, well done, oh." And Yolawa, referring to Tolulope Mike-Bamiloye's smile, said, "I just love her. She's always smiling and is so contagious." Oluwaloni Joy also expressed her excitement at the news, stating that she was expecting and anticipating the new song.
Reactions as Jaymikee makes music with son, Jayson Mike-Bamiloye. Gospel filmmaker and music producer Joshua Mike-Bamiloye has received positive and loved-up reactions from his fans and followers in response to photos of him and his son, Jayson Mike-Bamiloye, recently shared on his official Instagram page. The photos of the father and son in the studio, presumably making music together, was captioned, "I will never get over these images. Jaymikee and Jayson cooking sound," with a heart emoji. He credited the photos to his wife with the username @TriumphantTolu, and it had received over 13,000 reactions and nearly 200 comments at the time of report. @TriumphantTolu was one of the first persons to comment, and she wrote, "My favorites," with several love emojis. A user with the name @JFont, while hailing Jayson Mike-Bamiloye, said, "Jayson that can make beats already. This generation is not ready at all. Omotini 50 albums láti record before the age of 30. Meaning, the boy already has 50 albums to record before the age of 30. Another user identified as Niu Studio also commented, "Now or later, Jayson will soon be Jaymikee Jr. Jayson is starting early. Catch them young. God bless and jealously watch over him. Amen." Denny Kelly also wrote. Describing father and son as a beautiful sight to behold, Esther Isogi said, "The most beautiful thing I have seen on the internet today." Recall that Joshua Mike-Bamiloye had some months ago called out his son for always crying. The couple got married on the 2nd of November 2019 and welcomed their first bundle of joy on the 22nd of December 2021.
Joshua Mike-Bamiloye has addressed the issue of using the GOAT acronym, which popularly stands for Greatest of All Time and is pronounced like the animal goat. On his Twitter page, the gospel actor, singer, producer, and son of Mount Zion Faith Ministry founder, Evangelist Mike-Bamiloye, expressed concern about Christians using the acronym. He said, "I hear us as Christians use this GOAT acronym. That pastor is the GOAT. Jesus is the GOAT. I get what it means, greatest of all time, but I believe we can do without it. For instance, I saw a picture of Messi standing next to an actual GOAT. Yeah, it means he's the greatest of all time, but that's an actual goat, bruv, with horns. Call me crazy, but biblically and spiritually, a goat has a whole different interpretation, my friend. It is well." Some Christians in response to his tweet noted that it was hard to do without the word, while some others reckoned with his thoughts. Zion said, and I quote, "I have a problem with making acronyms of everything, and even when you do, should it be pronounced when it sounds like another word that has another meaning?" Vilola, while stating how difficult it would be for her, said, and I quote, "Uncle Josh, Laura Con, we should not use goats anymore, abi? Cause see problem, but it go hard, sha, especially when I hear that Avero's voice notes. Now why would they call him goats? He dey always turn up. Sorry, I still use the word." Another user, Latino, in an attempt to engage in football banter, said, "You're right, sir, and I second with you, but Isha accepts that Messi is the GOAT." What are your thoughts about Christians using acronyms that could be misinterpreted? Let us know in the comment section below. A senior pastor of Living Faith Church, also referred to as Winners Chapel, Calabar, has sued the church and its founder, Bishop David Oyedepo, for allegedly unlawfully terminating his appointment. The pastor, Dominic Esang, in an interview in Calabar, Cross River State, accused what he described as cabal in the church of persecuting, maltreating, and frustrating him, in spite of the fact that he had spent 2 decades in the church and had developed 6 branches under him. According to Daily Post, Pastor Dominic said that they gang up and lie against him, and this led to the termination of his appointment as resident pastor of Palm Street Extension Parish, Calabar. He took the church to the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, Calabar Judicial Division, for not following the mandate or operational manual used by the ministry to fire Iren staff. In suit number NICN/CA/25/2022, suing founder of Living Faith Church Worldwide Incorporated, Bishop David Oyedepo, Adebisi Aboluwade, and other 2 defendants for 350 million naira compensation. Pastor Dominic, who is a graduate of math statistics, the University of Calabar, said he was bitter not only because he had been sacked, but because it did not follow due process of the church. The pastor expressed sadness and disappointment, revealing that all efforts to bring the General Overseer of the ministry, Bishop Oyedepo, into the matter, highly frustrated and proved abortive. Said, and I quote, "I was a member of that church for over a decade before training to become a pastor. At least I have spent more than 2 decades in the ministry. That alone makes me a son to our General Overseer, Bishop David Oyedepo." Dominic Esang said that the church cabal consists of Pastor Tamuno Toye Chukunda and the state pastor of Living Faith Church in Cross River, Pastor Adeolu Adewumi. He further lamented that, according to the Living Faith's operational mandates, before a pastor is sacked, such would be queried in writing and made to appear before a disciplinary committee. Thereafter, 3 more warnings before he can be issued a termination of appointment letter. In my case, nothing of such happened. Quote, "I was not given the opportunity to appear before any disciplinary panel to defend myself. As I speak to you, I can't even pay my children's school fees, nor pay my rent, or afford food, clothing, and medicine for my kids." End of quote. Reacting to this, the state administrative officer of the church, Den Taiwo, denied the allegations, adding that no section of the operational mandate was violated. The issue comes up for hearing at the National Industrial Court on 25 October 2022.
Osinachi begged me not to report her husband's abuse. Neighbor. Grace Nnaji, a neighbor of the late gospel singer Osinachi, on Thursday told the Federal Capital Territory Court in Abuja that the singer on many occasions begged her not to report her husband Peter Nwachukwu's abuse to the necessary authorities. Nnaji, who is identified to be a tailor, told the court that she met the singer when her husband approached her to make a dress for her. While giving her testimony led by the prosecution counsel, Aderonke Imana, she said she became close to the deceased as her residence and shop in Akko Estate, Airport Road, Lugbe, were close to Nwachukwu's house. The deceased confided in her that the defendant was always hitting her at the slightest provocation. She added that the defendant was accustomed to shutting his wife out whenever she went to church, causing her to spend hours at the gate knocking. On certain occasions, it would require the help of neighbors before she would be allowed inside, and that on one of the occasions when he wouldn't let her in, she slept at Nnaji's house for 2 days. The defendant, according to Nnaji, allegedly threatened to kill Osinachi's brother and ruin her reputation, which is why she was frightened to tell anybody about her experience. When she advised the mother of 4 to report the assault to the police, her family, her church, and a human rights organization, she refused, saying that her husband will change. When I told her that I was going to report to the church, she begged me not to, saying that her husband would change, Nnaji said. She recalled how, while the deceased was ill, she had to sneak into her home to help her clean it in order to prevent the defendants from getting upset and whining about how messy it was. According to the news agency of Nigeria, NAN, the prosecution's witnesses on Wednesday included 2 former members of the deceased staff who said that the defendant had physically and verbally assaulted the late singer. Nwachukwu is accused of being responsible for the death of his late wife and gospel singer Osinachi, who was well known for her song Ekueme, and is facing trial on a 23-count allegation bordering on domestic violence and criminal homicide.
Pastor and founder of Celebration Church International, Pastor Emmanuel Iren, has taken to Twitter to clear the air on the subject of censoring social media content. Pastor Iren had earlier made a tweet that stated that social media censorship was needed to prevent damaging an entire generation. He said, "Any social media platform that is not censored can damage an entire generation. Any people who don't see the need for that probably are already." This tweet sparked a lot of concerns, supports, and rebuttals as many Twitter users noted that the word censorship in this part of the world could do more harm than good. The pastor then further decided to clearly state and define what he meant by censorship. He said, and I quote, "About censorship, what I meant. I put up this tweet because for the second straight day, a sex tape was trending again. It wasn't about the government censorship of social media. It wasn't about my being dragged. In context, these are my honest questions. 1. Stupid as you might think it to be to have a sex tape, should leaking such video to hurt your partner be tolerated? How did J Brown feel? How did T Savage feel? Some say it was staged, and if it wasn't, Even if legal action is taken, the damage is done. 2. I didn't see the video on my TL. I saw it amongst daily trends. Forgive me if there are settings that block that also. 30 plus issues. But if I protect what I see, does that make it right? I'm talking about the likelihood of minors seeing this video. 3. By the way, many people who have an issue with censorship, albeit rightly so, try to censor me all the time. They try to shame my people for loving me the way they do. I find that interesting. Pastor Iren further admitted the vagueness of the previous tweet, saying, I admit that tweet as a standalone tweet could have passed the wrong message. I simply believed everyone would know what I was referring to since it had been trending. Plus, there was a follow-up tweet. For objective people who didn't understand what I meant, here is my clarification. I know some will always look for loopholes in everything I say. That's also okay. In response to this, Christian users had interesting opinions. iDocCoder said, and I quote, Pastor, the word censorship in and of itself is heavily loaded and very problematic, especially given the society we live in. Perhaps the message could have been passed in a different manner. Tilda, on the other hand, stated, I don't think it was the tweet. The attack was on the person. A lot of us have some things we don't allow in our space and we call it boundaries. If any social media platform puts a boundary on what we allow for public consumption, that's censorship. It's simple to understand, but then everyone wants to have a contrary opinion, so they'd rather follow the mob to drag than actually take a step back and think. Be encouraged, Pasty, everyone won't understand you. Another user, Blank, who expressed dissatisfaction with the follow-up tweet said, okay, this is better. The word censorship isn't to be used anyhow, especially in our climes.
Alright, thank you so much for watching. This is Kingdom News on God's Own TV. Kindly subscribe to this channel if you are yet to do so. Till I come your way again next week, continue to shine for the Lord. Bye.